little bit nervous, so I wrote my comments down, so I'm going to read from. My name is Krista Curtis, and I'm from Ellettsville. I live in Ellettsville. I have read the plan. I knew in coming tonight that this was going to be a very emotional meeting, and I knew there would be a lot of comments from people regarding their property and their use of their property. So I spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to say tonight, because there's a lot I could say. And what I decided to focus on, really my comments are regarding the cost of rural development that keeps coming up. I saw it again in the article today in the HT. It's a question that keeps coming up. I've seen comments and scenarios that have been offered in both the proposed plan and in public comments. Just to name a couple, for instance, school buses, driving extra miles, hiring additional sheriff's deputies if growth happens, or adding sewers. I'm a little confused by a lot of this, and I have a lot of questions about this particular issue, and I don't see a lot of answers. I was hoping I would see those in the plan, and I'm not sure why we don't have those answers. If the county population increases, let's say 10,000 or 20,000, wouldn't you need to hire an extra sheriff's deputy, whether those people are living in the urbanizing area or in the rural areas? I mean, doesn't that happen? And are we really talking about an extra 10 miles that a sheriff's deputy or a bus has to travel? Have we reduced our economic analysis of this plan to that simplistic of a view? It seems like it's a lot more complicated to me than that. And I'm not an economist, so I have to say I struggle with it myself. I've heard Plan Commission members say to community members who are in opposition to the plan, what's your answer? What's your answer to how we pay for these costs? My thinking is that before any of us can provide an answer, we should be asking what is the true cost? Because I'm not seeing that in the document that was provided. I've also tried to spend a little time understanding county and state finances. It's not something I want to do on a regular basis because it's very complicated. And understanding how the income tax revenue and property tax revenue, how they affect the county and how those changes affect the county. So we know, it's obvious that costs will rise as population rises. But doesn't your potential for revenue also rise if you're smart about it? If a county falls well below the tax levy set by the state, can you request an increase in your levy from year to year if you're falling well below the levy? And when we talk about the revenue coming in, we should be talking about income tax and not just property tax. If we don't create good jobs, will we see further drops in income tax, like the headlines we saw in the HT recently? These are my questions, and these are the things I think we need to think through. If the population stays the same and we freeze Monroe County in time, won't that put a bigger squeeze on county revenues? If we collect below our levy, our caps, and our fixed costs continue to rise, I don't understand where that leaves us. I don't understand this rationale. So the bottom line for me is this. What is an optimized rate of growth that is healthy for this county? One that maximizes revenues and minimizes costs, not just to the benefit of county government, but to the benefit of all these people who live here. I don't think the plan addresses this issue. And honestly, I'm not sure if it's because these generalized claims are there to mask another agenda. I would hope not. Or we just simply don't have the answer to the question. If we don't have the answer to the question, I think before passing this plan, we need to take the time to stop and understand what would be healthy growth for this community. And if that means bringing in an outside expert, I really don't think we cannot afford to do it. So as mentioned, I would like to see us slow down, and that particular issue I'd like to understand a little better. So I hope you can take the time to do that.